Hotel story? I won't harp on it for too long. 30 minutes later. And that's how we ended up running Holiday Inn Chantilly for an entire hour with no staff on site. Not a single manager, not a single person. This is him running the entire hotel. Not because he snuck in, because he was asked to by the only member of staff there before he left. He legitimately was given the job, not paid, to run the hotel, the entire hotel, for an hour. We had to bring a very intoxicated smasher home. We thought he was staying at the venue hotel. He was not. The hotel night manager took the guy to his actual hotel in his car and left us in charge. There's a lot missing in between. Here's Nut Roast running the hotel. This whole story actually starts because I auctioned off my medal. You're not gonna believe it, but me auctioning off my medal led to a cascading series of events that resulted in this night. When I auctioned off my medal, me, Nut Roast, and Base Mage and Wonky were doing my watch party, right? And the auction goes crazy. It goes, like I said, it started at $1. I was saying it as a joke. I did not expect it to get out of control. So, bro, that's Lunin 2 on the left. That's Texas 7 DRW in the middle. Smash Metal legend Hungrybox turned Supernova into an auction house to sell off his third place medal, and fans started placing outrageous bids. I cannot believe there's an article on this. The bid started at $1 and it rose from there, quickly reaching the triple digits. It wasn't long until a bidding war kicked off, with fans going back and forth until the bidding reached a whopping $800.
I hear 40 for the man in the front. Do I hear 45? 45 for the third? I'll sign it too, by the way.
45 in the north.
45 for the big. 50 in the white over here. $80.
80. What was the about this?
$100. $190. 200.
They went face to face, dude. This is like Socrates, Plato, and like Peter Griffin, all posting up. This is my 3 rare Balatro Jokers clutching it up on anti-8 right here.
320.
Dude.
How much? 350.
50 for the medal.
Do I hear 360 for the medal?
Dude, and he's holding his belt. Oh my god.
There's a switch to how much? 500.
And this guy was full of shit.
Are you sure? How much? 500. There's a switch to 600.
Dude, okay, and this guy, the guy going like this in the corner on the left side of the screen, he ate 19-year-old expired ramen moments before it was.
Are you being serious?
He said, "I work for a living." That was my favorite quote of the entire night. I work for a living. This is still a hotel story, by the way.
It's 3, 2, 1.
What happens here?
7, 8, 9, 10. Ladies and gentlemen, your auction winner, Lunin 2.
Oh, that's my ass. Anyways, he did pay for the entire thing. I'm cheeked up. He did pay for the entire thing, and it was right there. But the point was, if you saw my crack this weekend, I'm very, very sorry. It was the pants didn't dry them properly. I'm gonna get a bigger pair. This is still part of the story, by the way. The reason I wanted to show this part right here is because you'll notice someone sitting next to me, and that's Base Mage, my flesh and blood. Base Mage was sitting next to me, and he did the watch party with me along with my boy Wonky. Hope Wonky's here too. And the reason this is relevant to the story is because soon after this clip got out, he basically said that he was willing to PayPal me the amount of cash. That way he can have the cash and I can have the money in my PayPal account. Because I don't know, I feel like I have too many eyes on me to be carrying around like $1,000 in cash. What if someone crazy like tackles me or jumps me outside? I don't want to do that, right? This is all relevant to the hotel story. Nut Roast on the left right here. Nut Roast on my left. This was the hotel manager. He did the first half of the watch party with me, and then he ends up running the hotel. So I'm gonna get there in a second because this all comes full circle. The problem was I gave Base Mage all the money and I counted it. I'm like, this is my logic. Ready? Okay, 43 20s. Here you go, Base Mage. Yep, 43 times 2 is 460. So I send Base Mage $460. And I don't even think about it for another 2 hours, right? And then, only when I'm doing my final meet and greet, someone was like, bro, someone bought it for 800? I'm like, no, it was 400. And then I realized, like, holy. And I text Basemate. I'm like, Base, I miscount, didn't I? He's like, yeah, I think you did. So I'm playing poker with EE and Light. Also, Light, enjoy my $50. I lost $50 right there by playing poker with Light. After I'm done playing poker with EE and Light, I go back to the venue hotel. It's like 2 in the morning, and Basemate says, yo, I'm staying up all night to wait for my flight. I have the extra cash. Come to my room, we'll pick it up. So he had the cash there for me. I said, my bad, I'm so sorry for miscounting. He's like, it's all good. He gave me the 400 that was missing in cash, so I have the 400 now. And then I offered to buy Basemate's dinner for the awkward mishap of mishandling the money, to which Basemate accepted, right? So me and Basemate, we walk over and we go to Two Amigos in Chantilly. All right. Now, what you have to know about Two Amigos is that this is where Supernova happens. And you might think I'm kidding, but Two Amigos is actually legendary. It looks unassuming. It looks like just a random Mexican spot, hole in the wall, whatever it might be. But I'm telling you right here, Two Amigos, the conversations you have right here, especially outside in this patio, it's open 24 hours. And I'm telling you, bro, it goes hard. We're there. We're eating our food. All right. We're having a good time. And as we're ordering our food, we go inside, and there is someone who is way too drunk. I'm talking past the point of like being tipsy, and the guy is like slurring and almost like drooling on like the waitress trying to take his order. So I step in front of the guy, but there's this poor waitress, she's like working like 2 in the morning serving dishes to these people. And I said, buddy, you ever see that video of the guy and he like stops his friend, he does this like that was me, because I was just like, I'm like, yo, I think you gotta, get some water in you. And then the lady told me in Spanish, like, ay, decirle que vaya a dormir a su hotel, pobrecito. And then she was tell this poor kid to go back to his hotel, get some sleep, because he's clearly too drunk. And then I told him, like, bro, they're asking you to leave. He's like, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm not even like exaggerating. Usually I ham it up. This is not me hamming it up. This was exactly how he sounded when he talked to me. So me and Basemates gently nudge him to the door, and luckily Nut Roast walks in from outside. Nut Roast on the left, goated commentator, by the way, from the UK. He's outside having drink. So he walks in. He's a tall dude. And I said, hey, can you help me get this guy out the door? He's like, yeah, I got you. So he, put his arm over his shoulder. He's like, all right, let's get you out of here, right? So after like 3 minutes talking to him, only then he finally gets out of the restaurant. He gets out of the restaurant and then goes into this patio, right? This outside patio. And the outside patio, that's where he just starts like talking to everyone. Someone was up here on the door sitting right there. Me and Basemate sat at this exact table right here. And I had a shredded beef chimichanga, and he had a chicken chimichanga. And it was great. We talked about everything. Before I sit down, me and Basemate, we walk with Jmook, Jules, Ellie, and 2 other people out this entryway, through this street, and down to the roundabout where you turn to go to the actual hotel. And we had to basically tell this guy constantly, no, we're all going to the hotel. Because, it's at some point where you're so drunk that you don't even understand logic. But he wasn't listening to everyone, but for some reason, he listened to me, and he listened to Jmook. So he was probably a fan of Melee, because I think he saw me and Jmook as figures of authority for some reason. A group of like 6 people is walking to the hotel, and that's fine. Me and Basemates come back down here. We're eating our food, okay? It's, 4 in the morning, right? Because we're having late night dinner. 4 in the morning, we go all the way to the hotel. When me and Basemates walk back to the hotel, we see this. We see this with a group of 10 people arguing in the lobby, including another drunk person who had nothing to do with his group, and all he wanted was his room key. He walks up to Nut Roast, who for some reason is behind the counter. This other drunk guy says, just give me my room key, dude. He was just saying that to him, like, damn. And Nut Roast is such a Chad that to get him back, he started playing the bit. He said, I am so, because he doesn't work there, right? He got put there I'm gonna tell you why I got put there, but he starts playing the bit. He's like, I'm so sorry, sir. Do you have an email on file? And he asks him for his email. He's like, okay, can you give me your ID? No, my ID's in my room. Oh, no ID is fine. Can you show me your attendance badge? He starts giving him all his bullshit to waste as much time as possible. We're cracking up, laughing in the lobby. Nut Roast is taking this role like a champion, all right? Because you know when you lose your key card, all you can do is go back to the lobby, floor 1, get another key card. He was wasting his time so much. The reason Nut Roast was put here is because when the group walked back the really drunk guy from Dos Amigos into the lobby, the drunk guy revealed to everyone that he was at the Holiday Inn, but he was at the wrong Holiday Inn. And for some reason decided not to tell anyone until they had walked the entire way to the hotel and they're there. There was a hotel clerk here, I'll call him S. He actually got so worried about this guy. He was so worried about the guy that he said he didn't trust an Uber driver to take him. And he said, I'm gonna drive him myself to our other Holiday Inn location. I just need you guys to watch the lobby while you're gone. And apparently he appoints Nut Roast, brings him behind the counter and says, you stand here and just tell everyone I'll be right back. It was 1 hour before he got back because what happened was S drove the drunk guy along with, there was a staff, a Supernova staff who went along just in case shit got unruly, and they all drove 20 minutes to the location. And on the way to the other hotel, the drunk guy was saying, no, I want to get out of the car right now, when they're doing 70 miles down the road. And this is why it's important to have a third homie there to make sure stuff doesn't go crazy, right? Anyways, apparently the story was they finally get to the hotel and then the dude isn't convinced that it's a hotel either. So the staff member has to walk up the stairs pretending he stays there. So the drunk guy follows him just to convince him to get to his room. And then as they're upstairs and he's fumbling his keys, he says, wait, I have to run downstairs. The car is getting towed. And him and the Indian clerk run downstairs to leave him there finally so they can get in the car and run back to the hotel and deal with this smasher who was behind the desk. Then apparently while he was there, even security couldn't wrangle the guy. Well, they were not wrangling him, but security then had to convince the guy to go to his room. It was a whole thing. This was a level beyond drunk. What I will say, by the way, I won't say who it is unless it probably gets known, but the guy messaged me the day after and apologized for everything. He says, I'm sorry, I drank so much, I made a fool of myself. He's a nice dude, he just had way too much to drink. Nothing crazy happened, no one got hurt or anything, but he was just one of those guys that was just like a baby, you had to carry him around, and for what it was. Anyways, while Nut Roast was behind the desk here, I had to go behind the desk and there was someone calling. So I went behind the main desk, I picked up the phone, I pressed the button to answer it, and I was gonna say, this is the Holiday Inn, how may I help you? The problem was I've never worked a call center in my entire life, and they couldn't hear what I was saying, but I could hear them. So a very angry lady then probably told me to after she called 3 times, and then I couldn't hear her 3 times. All things considered, Smashers ended up running this hotel. There was legitimately multiple guests who were super confused and could not get their room keys for an hour. But the point was, the hotel clerk was responsible and got someone who was dangerously drunk safely to their hotel location, and honestly was the hero of this case. So some S's in the chat for the very brave hotel clerk who let Smashers look after a lobby at 4 in the morning to get someone safely back to the other location. That was the story. It was absolutely incredible. It's one of the funniest things. I know I'm only doing such a good job of detailing how it went down, but I'm telling you, you simply had to be there. Some of the jokes that were cracked was just absolutely phenomenal.